Hello and thanks for joining us for this Memorial Day edition of THV 11 News at noon. I'm Jurnee Taylor and here are some of the headlines we're following right now. An agreement reached to avoid a government shutdown. What the debt ceiling deal looks like as it heads to Congress.
ALS, cancer, and mental health, all issues overwhelmingly impacting military veterans. I'm Skyler Henry in Washington with the program researching why that is and how it's looking to help future generations.
Plus, in the spirit of Memorial Day, our Verified team dives into its origins. At 12:22, we share everything you need to know about the holiday. But first, let's bring in meteorologist Scott Covert in for meteorologist Nathan Scott. Scott, a lot of people are here or out today for several events honoring those who made the ultimate sacrifice. Couldn't ask for a better day, right?
You really couldn't. When you think of Memorial Day, the unofficial start to summer in Arkansas, you think of heat and you think of humidity, but really that's not the case. Temperatures around Arkansas here at the noon hour now in those 80s. In fact, 85 the current temperature in Little Rock, 80 in Searcy, 82 right now in Hot Springs. Mena holding on to those 70s for a little bit longer with a little bit of sunshine in West Arkansas. I think we'll be warming up here quickly. We've seen partly cloudy skies. Those clouds are thinning out and we'll continue to see some more sunshine today with a high of 88 degrees. And while, yeah, that's warm, given we still have low humidity, it's feeling pretty nice. In fact, if you want to grill today, you're going to have decent weather for it all day long. In terms of what's to come, well, it is going to be warming back up. The humidity does return, and we might even squeeze out a couple of raindrops if we're lucky late this week. Better chances of rain perhaps in your weekend forecast. I've got all that and more coming up in your full extended forecast.
Thanks, Scott. Well, we start with a story developing right now in North Little Rock. Police are investigating a shooting leaving 2 people injured Sunday afternoon. Officers arrived to Alpha Street yesterday evening where they found a man and a woman who both appear to have been shot. The victims were taken to a local hospital. They are reported to be in stable condition right now, but anyone with information is asked to contact North Little Rock Police. Meanwhile, a shooting investigation is underway in the eastern Arkansas town of Marianna. The incident unfolding Saturday night when officers responded to a shooting report outside an O'Reilly's Auto Parts. When officers arrived, they found several people who had been shot. One of those people was 37-year-old Orlando Bender from Jonesboro. They were taken to a nearby hospital where he later died. 3 others are still in the hospital in critical condition, while another was airlifted to a Memphis hospital. In a THV 11 news update, the search for a missing Hot Springs man intensifies today following the arrest of 3 people from Fort Smith on kidnapping charges. Amir Ellis was reported missing on May 17th and has not been seen since. Hot Springs police say Nathaniel Speed, Alexia Chambers, and an unnamed juvenile were taken into custody over the weekend. They are in custody in Garland County on a $1 million bond each. We'll have more on this developing story tonight at 5 and 6. Well, Wednesday is the deadline for personal property tax assessments in all counties in Arkansas. Failure to have them assessed on time will lead to a 10% penalty on your taxes. Now, many counties let you get your assessment and pay your property taxes online. Property tax payments themselves aren't due until October 15th. Now, not paying them can lead to late fees and other penalties. And lunch at the library returns 1 week from today, providing free meals to people under 18. The program is put on by Be Mighty Little Rock and the Central Arkansas Library System to help students who rely on school meals. Now, alongside nutritious food, they offer activities like reading and cooking classes. It will be available at multiple Central Arkansas Library branches, and meals must be eaten on site. Now, any kids under the age of 11 will need to have an adult with them, and the program will run from June 5th through August 12th. After days of negotiations to increase the country's $31.4 trillion debt limit, there appears to be a bipartisan relief. President Joe Biden and Republican leaders have now agreed on a tentative agreement to prevent a potential default on government loans. The president, speaking from the White House on Sunday evening, shared the agreement represents a compromise, meaning no one got everything they want, but that's the responsibility when governing.
That agreement now goes to the United States House and to the Senate. I strongly urge both chambers to pass that agreement.
And Republican leaders have to move the bill through Congress and to the president's desk before June 5th. That's when the Treasury says it will run out of money to cover all of America's obligations. Now, the cause of an apartment building collapse in Davenport, Iowa is now under investigation 1 day after part of a 6-story building came crumbling down. Crews have rescued at least 8 people, but no deaths have been reported. Roxana Siberia has the latest from New York.
Rescue teams with K-9 units are still searching the partially collapsed apartment building in Davenport, Iowa, just to be certain that everyone is out.
This is an active investigation. We're getting conflicting information, but we do not have any credible information at this time of anyone missing.
Overnight search teams rescued an 8th person following the sudden collapse of the back of the building Sunday evening.
It came down like an explosion, like a bomb.
Residents are grateful that it appears everyone got out alive.
I'm 86 years old, so I'm very lucky and blessed again. Blessed to live this long and blessed to get out without injuries, but I have nothing now.
Authorities found a gas leak after the collapse, and they say there have been complaints from residents about the structural integrity of the building.
We issued notice and orders to have those repaired. The building owner hired their own engineering firm to direct them, and the repairs needed to be made.
County officials say nearly 20 permits were filed last year for building repairs, mainly for plumbing or electrical issues. Roxana Saberi, CBS News.
Now, officials at the scene revealed that earlier last week, work had begun on the complex and there were reports of bricks falling from the building. And in Texas, Attorney General Ken Paxton now heads to a trial in the state Senate after House members impeached him by an overwhelming bipartisan vote. Paxton faces 20 articles of impeachment, including allegations of robbery, abuse of public trust, and being unfit for office. He is currently denying any wrongdoing. A special exhibit has returned to the National Mall in Washington, D.C. to honor the hundreds of thousands of American service members killed in combat since the First World War. The Poppy Wall of Honor shows the size of sacrifice, more than 645,000 poppies symbolizing the U.S. lives lost in service since World War I.
It's a very somber moment for me. I've placed about 57 coins on caskets that are draped with the American flag. It's very special for me.
Air Force veteran Joe Slutter, now a military affairs representative for the USAA Poppy Wall of Honor, says this year's exhibit also marks 50 years since the U.S. exit from Vietnam, where his father served 2 tours. For those of us who can't visit the wall in person, you can post a tribute to a loved one on social media using the hashtag #PoppyInMemory, and it will be shared there. Operation Skyhook is a Memorial Day tradition in Pine Bluff. They just held this year's event over the weekend. THV 11 photojournalist Danny Moore was out there to get an up-close look at this beloved flight competition.
Oh, it's a wonderful event. This is the 24th year of Operation Skyhook in Pine Bluff. They come here because they're interested in not only the competition, but also exposing youth to aviation. And this is one of the big thrusts and one of the things that we do as a part of our organization.
Today we're having the balloon busting and spot landing. Judges out there will hold up a balloon. And when the pilot sees the balloon, he'll call for the release. They let it go. The balloon is filled with helium, so it will rise. And it's a matter of tracking it until you hit it. And you can hit with that prop and not break it. So it takes a little bit of talent to make sure you break the balloon.
Right here at Grider Field is where I took my very first flight. It was with Ken Johnson, who's been a friend, a mentor, aviation enthusiast and ambassador for aviation for Pine Bluff and Grider Field. And it's one of those things that still sticks with me today. As an airline captain, as I line up the 737 on the runway, I still a lot of times think back to my very first takeoff here at Grider Field. This event, I'm a product of Black Pilots of America. So, they all had a hand in raising me and exposing me and boosting my career.
All right, you ready?
It's just amazing to see the expression on a child's face when they leave the earth here, go up into the sky, and you see the smiles on their faces. I mean, it's unforgettable.
Well, coming up, a new veterans program has promised a lasting impact on future generations of servicemen and women. We'll show you how this program is saving lives when the news at noon returns. But real quick, a look at weather. Scott, what are you seeing?
Oh, a beautiful day all across Arkansas, unseasonably cool. We've got low humidity. It's been nice the last several days, but I'm afraid it's about to get warm and muggy again. We'll take a look at those changes and what it means for the rest of your week, coming right up when we return.